Hi, Blair. My name is Ben Yardley, and I'm going to be walking you through this session today. Before we begin, I have some information to go over with you. You probably already have a good idea of why we asked you here, but let me go over it again briefly. We're asking people to try using a website that we're working on so we can see whether it works as intended. The session should take roughly 20 to 30 minutes. The first thing I want to make clear right away is that we're testing the site, not you. You can't do anything wrong. In fact, this is probably the one place today where you don't have to worry about making mistakes. As you use the site, I'm going to ask you as much as possible to try to think out loud, to say what you're looking at and what you're trying to do and what you're thinking. This will be a big help to us. Also, please don't worry about where that you're going to be hurt our feelings. We're going to do this to improve the site, so we need to hear your honest reactions. If you have any questions as we go along, just ask them. I may not be able to answer them right away, since we're interested in how people do when they don't have someone sitting next to them to help. But if you still have any questions when we're done, I'll try to answer them and answer them then. And if you need to take a break at any point, just let me know. You may have noticed the iPhone recording. With your permission, we're going to record what happens on the screen in our conversation. The recording will only be used to help us figure out how to improve the site, and it won't be seen by anyone except the people working on this project. And it helps me because I don't have to take as many notes. If you would, I'm going to ask you to sign a simple permission form for us. It just says that we have permission to record this, and that recording will only be seen by the people working on the project. Thank you. Do you have any questions so far?
Nope.
Okay, before we look at the site, I want to ask you a few quick questions. First, what is your occupation and what do you do all day?
I'm a student and I'm also working part-time at the Outdoor Gear Exchange. What do I do all day? I go to class, I study, and go to work.
What's your major?
Business.
Now, roughly how many hours a week altogether, just a ballpark estimate, would you say you spend using the internet?
Probably like 10 to 20.
Right. And what's the split between leisure and work or school related?
Probably pretty close to 50-50.
Okay. What kind of sites do you like to look at when you browse the web?
I'm a frequent on Facebook, places like HBO Go, YouTube, and then various offshoots from Facebook.
Right. Do you have any favorite news websites?
I use an application on my iPad generally for my news. It's called Pulse. So I don't generally go to like any specific news sites. Probably Wall Street Journal is the only one on the internet that I would go to.
All right. And on your news app, how often do you just read the headline or the article headlines and not actually read the article?
Probably out of all the articles that I see, I probably read 10% of them.
All right, great. We're done with the questions and we can start looking at things. Can you open the CNN homepage?
Yep.
Thank you. First, I'm going to ask you to look at this page and tell me what you make of it. What strikes you about it, whose site you think it is, what you can do here, and what it's for. Just look around and do a little narrative.
So right off the bat, I kind of get the idea that it's a news website. One, because I'm familiar with CNN. Also because I'm familiar with this kind of formatting for like a TV newscast. Also, all the different tabs at the top. It's pretty news-like. And, I mean, right off the bat, we get breaking news. So.
Awesome. Thanks. Now I'm going to ask you to try doing some specific things. I'm going to read you each one out loud and give you a printed copy of these scenarios.
Okay.
I'm also going to ask you to do these tasks without using the search. We'll learn a lot more about how well this site works that way. And again, as much as possible, it'll help us if you can try to think out loud as you go along.
Cool.
All right. Here are the scenarios. And if you don't mind reading them out loud.
Q hand, the participant.
Down there.
Whatever. So you're an avid runner, partially because of the positive effects it has on your health. While eating breakfast this morning, you caught the tail end of a news segment that stated running may not increase your life expectancy and could actually decrease it. You are very curious and want to read the full article. Try and find the article. Okay. First, I'm going to go to Health tab because right in the question it said it could actually decrease your health or life expectancy rather. That was a little bit weird. It's just cruising down, keep kids healthy, dramatic transformation. Assuming that these are all like 5 questions to ask before surgery. I'm gonna try and click this again because maybe it took me to the wrong place. Okay, top health stories. Seven invisible ways it helps. Maybe there's like a related article. Maybe there's no related articles. House affects diabetes. Decreases PMS. Pretty good. All right, so maybe living. And this is something that I saw today while running, breakfast this morning.
Yes, it's a current news article.
Okay, talking about why some schools. You can get from vending machines. Maybe go to more. Maybe I'll do that with health as well. Show me. No idea why it took me here. I didn't really find more. I guess I can click this. Show me more. More. Okay, it shows me less. I'm gonna go back to health because that's what I think that it would be under. Seems like the main category for what this conditions. Diet and fitness, living well, maybe diet and fitness. Talking about obesity, sleep, sex, and you. Okay. Running more may not help you live long. Okay, cool.
Awesome. Great. And on to the next scenario.
All right, so second scenario, you are a diehard New York Knicks baseball fan, and they are currently basketball, and they are currently in a heated playoff with Atlanta Hawks. You watched the start of the most recent game with the Miami Heat, but fell asleep during the halftime, and now want to find out if they won or lost using CNN. All right, so I'm assuming it's going to be in the sports section. So boom, clicking on sports. NFL, MLB, it's baseball. NBA, it's basketball. I guess I can click on my team, the New York Knicks. New York. Can't say I'm really a basketball fan, so. Or is it maybe just like up here? No, It's baseball. At this point, I'd probably go to Google and just type it in. But against the Atlantic Hawks.
Against the Miami Heat.
Oh, Miami Heat. Because it would probably, I can just go to like, team stream ticket. Wish there was like just a breakdown of how their season is. Or something like this up at the top, where there's like a full scoreboard of everything. But I have to scroll through a bunch of articles now. Unless you're sitting behind me and you just like already saw it or something. Heat puts Knicks playoffs up in life support, so I'm assuming they lost. April 6th, it's the 9th. So they won.
Yep. Awesome. All right, thanks. That was very helpful. If you'll excuse me for a minute, I'm going to see if the people on the team have any follow-up questions they'd like to ask you. One, do you think it was fun and knowing that the sports navigation bar brought you to a different site? If you even realized you're on a different site?
To be honest, I didn't realize that, nor did I realize that it opened a new tab when I opened that. But yeah, I would think that if I wanted to navigate back, if I didn't want to look at sports anymore and I wanted to just go back to looking at why running was going to decrease my health, that'd be frustrating.
Do you find that it was hard to see where you are on the site when you were looking for the health or the running article?
To see where I was?
Yeah, did you ever get lost on the site? Would it have been helpful for example, breadcrumbs to see where you've been and where you... Yeah,
sure. That would have been maybe more helpful. I think that some kind of like organization of articles would have been nice instead of like having to just scroll through all the breaking news, like would seem to be kind of a little bit disorganized.
Yeah. So there was that local nav or the health and fitness. Was that hard to see initially, or did you gloss over that?
The health and fitness. Yeah, I glossed over it the first time. I kind of went straight to the like general navigation bar at the top. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah,
this like what this was on the CNN.
And then it had the health and fitness below that.
Below that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I obviously glossed over that the first time. And once I kind of like navigated back to health, then once I was just looking for more broad ways to narrow my search, I kind of noticed it.
Awesome. Do you have any questions for me now that we're done?
No.
Awesome. Thank you very much.